So, it's episode 8, I think. I've lost track of episodes at this point. Um, it's that kind of year.
Oh, I
Um,
get it. Time is a concept.
but today on the podcast, we have another guest. What a surprise! We have a guest. Like every episode, we have a guest. Today we have. Do you want me Samantha or Sam or
Sam is just easier,
Sam?
less
Okay.
vowels.
Yeah. I figured you'd want to be called Sam.
Yes.
I feel like anybody I know is like has like a full name, like
Mhm.
Samantha or like whatever, wants to always be called like Sam.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, thanks for thanks for agreeing to be on this.
Oh yeah, no problem.
My friend Ozzy introduced me to you, so that's how I knew about this and how
Yes.
I have you. I can't do words today.
Oh, it's
That's
okay.
how you're on here.
Mhm. Yeah, we work together. So
Yeah.
he was telling me about your podcast, and he was like, "She's looking for people to interview." So I was like, "Okay, why not?"
Mhm. So, um, give the nice audience, some background on yourself,
Ooh,
like what you do,
oh
what are you
God.
about. I know
What?
it's a tough question.
Yeah, what am I about? That's like a full question. I'll just start with the basics. I'm 27. I'm from Sacramento, California. Um, a fun fact I always tell people is that I'm a twin, and she's a photographer as well.
Oh yeah, I remember you
Yeah,
told me that.
yeah. And I do photography as well, but I mainly do, or I try to do video, or so like video editing, directing,
Mhm.
filming, all that stuff. What else do I do? I do a lot. I'm just a very artistic person ever since I was a kid. So I'm obsessed with Disney. I'm obsessed with music and concerts, and I miss concerts so
Oh
much.
my god.
I'm sure you know, especially because you're a concert
Yeah,
photographer, right?
I I don't even want to talk about it.
I know it's so sad. I'm just like waiting for the day that we are all able to go back to concerts.
Oh my god, I just miss like well, obviously 'cause it's like what I do, so like I'm not doing what I'm usually like doing for my job,
Yeah, it's like
and
it's like
I
you're
just miss
missing a
like
part of
going to
yourself.
them as a person too. Like I just miss both sides of it.
Yes. Oh my god. It's just like attending or shooting, like either one, like both sides of it. I'm like, oh my god.
Like these virtual concerts are not the same. Look, give me my live shows back.
Yes. Oh my god. The virtual ones are not the same. I actually last night it wasn't even a virtual concert. It was just someone uploaded it to YouTube, but it was Harry Styles, his set from the Jingle Bell thing that they
Oh
did.
yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that.
and yes, I had to watch it, and it was only like 10 minutes, and like his re what am I trying to say? Oh, his rendition of his song "Adore You" and how he changed his like vocal range for a certain
Hmm.
thing. I was like, oof.
You really did that.
Yes,
You
yes.
didn't have to, but
I'm sorry, but Harry Styles, he's very talented.
yeah.
I listen to a lot of pop, but I also am definitely like an emo kid at heart, so I still am like
Oh,
following.
same.
Oh yeah, like I think we had
Definitely.
talked about the main. I think
Mhm.
those are my boys.
Yeah. Yep. You seen them how many times?
I've seen them 15 times in
Oh my
concert.
god.
Yeah, whether it was I don't think I've actually shot them. My sister has though. But I've gone with friends, I've gone by myself. They came to Sacramento a lot when I was living up in NorCal. I live in LA now for the past 3 years.
Mhm.
So and I've only seen them down here a few times. Like they you know, but so yeah, they came to Sacramento a lot in the Bay Area because Sacramento's and the Bay Area is right next to each
Yeah.
other. So it's you have more opportunities for concerts. It's kind of like LA and Orange County, kind of. So, but yeah, I've seen them 15 times. They're just great. I don't even like try meeting them anymore. I just go because they're great.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And like, do you know I'm sure you've heard of it, the 8123 Fest that they put
Mhm.
on?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my friends, a group of friends and I did that I think that was last year, like January last year when they did it
Mhm.
in Phoenix, and that was a super fun concert. And it was just like all a bunch of great bands, like This Century, which is not even a band anymore. They ended up performing, and it was really cool to see them. And then who else was there? Oh, All Time Low. Wait, did All Time Low play, or am I just like,
I think they were there.
were they there? I cannot even remember. Wow.
So long ago.
Yeah, oh god. But yeah, that was like, I think that was the first time I've traveled outside of California for a concert. But it was a festival, so it was like a 3-day thing, and it was really fun. And yeah, they're my babies. But have you shot them or?
I haven't. God, the last time I saw them was last November.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, on that tour,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the last time I saw them, and probably the last concert. No, no, it wasn't the last concert, but the last concert I think I went to was the Jonas Brothers, actually.
Oh no way! Wait! Oh
Yeah.
my god! Wait! Oh, you just opened another door.
Oh
I'm
no.
I'm also a big Jonas Brothers fan.
Oh
I
my
got
god.
to see them too last year.
Yeah, that was my last concert.
Oh my god!
I didn't shoot them though. I just went for like for funsies,
Oh, absolutely.
because I had to.
Yeah, I don't think if I had the opportunity to shoot them, obviously I would do it, but I don't know if my photos would come out because maybe I
That's
would be
yeah.
too shaky.
That's the thing is like I'd want to like photograph like my favorite artists and stuff, but it's just like I'm gonna be like like I'm gonna be so nervous.
Oh my god. I get that. I'm just like, how? And
It's like
especially
oh
too
my
because I do a
god.
lot of videos, so it's like I don't, if I was doing like, let's say behind the scenes on like an editorial shoot with an artist or an actor that I like, I'm like, how am I even filming right now without making the camera shaky?
Right. Like oh my god. I just I miss the atmosphere of concerts. It's just oh
Oh, it's like it's a whole thing, like it's a whole vibe. It's just like such a positive thing. And like the communities too with the fandoms, like depending on what
yeah.
concert you end up going to, is just like fantastic. And the energy in the room, because everyone's there for the same reason that you are, so it's like you have a common ground automatically with all the people in the room, and it's just it hits different.
It really does. It's just it's so bad too because like not having shows is like hurting so many different people, like the artists and like uh, us the photographers and
Oh
like
yeah.
the venue people and like
Hmm.
everybody. It's there. It's like
Oh, it's like
man,
everyone's getting hit hard, and it's. I feel like the virtual concerts have been helping though with artists
yeah,
booking the spots, so that's definitely helpful. But I know there's a couple of like famous venues here in LA that are having to close like officially,
oh
and
no,
yeah. But I know like one of them's called, what is it? The Chain Reaction. It's in Orange
Mhm.
County, and that one almost closed, but so many artists heard how it was going to be closing, and they actually like put in the funds to make sure it stayed open because it's such like an iconic venue here in Southern California. So that was really cool to hear, especially because it was like all the emo pop punk artists who have performed there, and just like all of them coming together to support some of these venues.
yeah, that's oh my god. There's I know it's like so many iconic like venues in California. Like there's so many.
Oh my god, yeah. Like we have the House of Blues. I mean, House of Blues is everywhere,
There's
so
every yeah.
yeah, so I think they're fine. But we'll see though. I think they are fine. I haven't really heard anything about them, but we have like, what's it? The Wiltern, I think, is one. Oh, we
Mm.
have the Whiskey A Go Go. We have the Viper Room. We have, oh god, we have so many.
So like
uh have you been out to LA?
I the only if the farthest place I've been is Chicago.
Oh my god, no way.
Yeah. I need to go to the I want to go to the West Coast so bad.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's great. I mean, I feel like people expect to come here and they think one thing, but it's not that.
Yeah, I
Like,
surprisingly know a lot of people that live in California
oh yeah.
somehow.
Yeah. I feel like that it's just like happens especially because of social media. Like I've met a lot of
Mhm.
people through social media, and like one of my good guy friends, he was from Wisconsin and we connected on Instagram, and but now he lives here in LA. So that's been nice to connect with him because we've been online friends for like 3 or 4 years, and then he moved here earlier this year before the pandemic. And and so then, of course, like as soon as he moved here, all of the shit went down with everything. And he's like, "Oh wow, this is not what I was expecting." But when I was coming to move to California, so yeah,
Yeah,
like I
just
feel like Instagram and Twitter too. Those are like the two I feel like main things that you can meet
mhm.
some really cool people.
Honestly, like that too. Sometimes Twitter is a little toxic, but
Oh yeah, I don't even use Twitter anymore.
yeah,
I
I
still
don't
have an
really either.
account, but I
Um,
rarely use it. I don't even go on to scroll anymore just because of how, especially because of like the election this year. It was just like so bad, and everything
oh
in
yeah,
2020. It was just so
yeah,
bad.
it's so bad.
hmm
But like honestly, a real for me, I've noticed like stream. I only started streaming on Twitch this year,
hmm
like back in I think May. Because like, what else am I doing? uh,
Honestly, a lot of my
so
friends started Twitch this year too.
yeah, and I like I'm gaining like somehow like a following on it, and I don't know how or why, but like it's just crazy because it's like I've met like so many new people
hmm
and like everything on it. Like I have a group of like new people I talk to almost like every day, like on Discord,
Oh yeah. Oh, I
and
love Discord. It's
yeah,
it's a
Discord's
complicated
so.
app, but it's really fun to meet people on there.
But it's just like actually I feel like Discord is like should be the new like best social media thing because like it has everything in it. You can like have a group chat of like a million people in it. They have
hmm
text channels. Like it's so I don't know. It's just so like well kind of
Oh yeah,
organized.
it's really. I mean, it's a little bit when I first. It's a monster when I first saw it. I
Yeah.
was like, "What are all of these hashtags? What is all of this?" For the different groups for that I'm part of on there, but now that I've used it for so long now, it just makes sense. It's easy to me, and it's so convenient. Like what you were saying, especially for if you're like going to be a guest on your friend's Twitch stream, then you literally just have to hop on Discord and that you go on the voice channels, and
Hmm.
that way their audience can hear everyone playing. And I know there's going to always be technical difficulties as
Yeah.
from what I've seen with my friends who do stream, but yeah, I know. I think my sister and I, because also wait, really quick, back up on this. um, I think with your following on Twitch, I have heard how like usually girl streamers, like girl gamer streamers, they
Hmm.
tend to grow a faster audience just
Yeah.
because of being a woman.
Yes.
Yeah, like that's happening with my
And
friend Jessie. She's her username's Gnome Finder on Twitch, and I think she just hit 200 or 300, and she's been doing it for a couple months now.
mhm.
And but she's just like, I don't even know how people are finding me. It just, I
Yeah.
think it's
It's
also the games, right, that you play.
Yeah, it depends. It really depends. Like sometimes it goes like in and out. Like you'll get like a wave of followers and like you'll just like have like a dry period of just like, people watch and whatever. But like it's like equally like cool because like you meet a bunch of cool people half the time.
hmm
But it's also scary because like you're just like it's you and like you're talking to like a bunch of strangers until like, they're your friends. But like most of them are strangers and like some of them are mean.
Oh, I know. Oh my god. Like, oh
Like
no, wait, legit, this just happened with my friend. So I think my sister, oh, it was Saturday, and she was playing Among Us. Of course, that's
mhm.
a
Yeah.
classic. It's a fun group game. It's always chaotic energy. It's fantastic. And so my sister and I, we were playing with her and a group of 10, and so we were all playing, And Jay, I call Jessie Jay, by the way. So, um, but she texted us separately, like on her phone, and she is saying how like one of her people that's been like a constant like subscriber and follower since she started, because it was from one of her other friends who does his
Mhm.
Twitch streams. Like, so I think he did a raid with one night, and
Oh,
that
yeah.
was how she got some people, and this person has been following her since then, and he's been chill, but I guess he's a 13 or 14-year-old, so like
Oh, no.
she's always careful with like what she says on stream, because obviously with Twitch there's going to be a lot of kids on there and young adults,
Yeah.
and so it's a hit or miss. But she was telling us how he just like made a random comment calling her hot or sexy or something, and
Oh,
she was like, I
god.
am so uncomfortable, because he's like 13, and we're like, bro. And Jay, she's like
Oh.
25.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it's just like and then she's had like harassment people on there too, like who have just literally trolled on there and like have been super rude. But of course, with the moderators and everything, they are like, nope,
Yeah.
that's not allowed. So they kick them out, block them, all that stuff.
Yeah, I have, like, all of my friends like, I met from Twitch that I know I can trust now. Like, they're all my mods in my channel because like, some people are
Mm-hmm.
just they're acting up, and I'm like, "Nope."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's what I've noticed too with Twitch. I've made a lot of friends on Twitch on there too because of my friends who also stream. Like we've all become like this little community on Twitch, and I've only met these people through Discord, through voice channels whenever we end up playing video games together. And it's just like
Mhm.
I've never seen what you look like, but we're friends. And we even have some people out in like Ireland and England who we've all connected with,
Oh my
and
god.
it's just like, so it's such a cool thing with, especially with technology these days with the internet, and how, I mean, like our generation, like we literally grew up from having VHS to the phone, like cord phones up, and we literally have seen technology progress over the past 20 years or so.
Oh, yeah, for
And it's
sure.
just, it's so crazy to think about, because it's like I probably would have never met these people in my life if this was not a thing.
It's just yeah, it's like it's so wild and, like, especially, like, I mean, this year,
Oh
like,
yeah.
it's technology, like, thank God for it because if
What would we be doing?
if it wasn't, like, around or as, like, advanced as it is now, like, oh my god.
Like I can't, like I'm just like sitting here now like thinking about that. I'm like, what would I be doing? Would I be reading?
Like, I'm not gonna read a book for, like, 10 months or whatever, a year, like
Oh my god, like you, like if I could, like I do read every so often. It's just very difficult to get back into it. But
yeah.
like I swear it's like video games, TV shows, like all the binging of Netflix and Hulu shows. It's insane. It's just like, again, it's crazy to think about, like if we didn't have video games or like all of this stuff, like what would we all be doing? Would we all be working
Exactly.
out? Would be reading, drawing, painting? I don't know.
I mean, stuff like still, like, things you can do without technology, but, like, you need it sometimes to, like, actually do things.
Oh, absolutely. Like like literally I think our careers are literally with technology. So it's
Yeah.
like if we didn't have this stuff, like what would we be doing?
How would I edit my photos? Like,
Exactly. We would be doing film.
I mean, I do film, but, like,
You
that's a
do
little
film.
bit
Okay. Wait, what film camera do you shoot on?
oh god, I know it's a Canon. I I actually ended up getting it 'cause I had, like, the typical darkroom class,
Mhm.
in college. I took 2 of
Mhm.
them. I had to. Um, which honestly, I love darkroom, honestly. Hated
Oh
the
yeah.
chemical smell. If I say the word, like, the chemical smell, I can, like, smell it, like, in
Mhm.
my mind, if
Oh
that makes sense. Like, I can just smell it right now.
yeah. Is
Um,
it, wait, is it Canon AE1?
no, I have
No.
I think it's in, like, one of those EOS brands still, like
Oh,
EOS
oh okay.
3, something like that. I
Nice.
got it, like, actually on sale. I have a second one actually. I have a Minolta that my friend gave me, but I had to, like, fix it 'cause I need, like, a lens for it, and I have to, like, fix the
Mhm.
battery in it, but
Mhm.
I have 2 now.
That's
But
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
I also shoot sometimes on disposable for fun, but
Oh, yeah. No, disposables are so fun and they're easy
yeah.
to pick up and use. And I feel like, especially with, what's his name? Wasn't it David Dobrik who basically
Hmm.
started the whole film
Yeah,
thing again? And that's
with
why everyone
Instagram,
does
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Actually, I like with my film, I don't know about you, but I like to which is like my regular film, not the disposable, or I guess either. But I do this thing. I haven't done it recently because I haven't shot any film for a bit. But before like everything was a mess this year, I would do film. I think I have about like I don't even know how many film. Like I get them developed from the Dark Room. There's a website. I don't know if you know that one. Um, but I get them developed on a website, and they send me like little like they send me the negatives, and then they send me like little 4x6 prints with like a white border. They're kind of cute, but
Oh, wow.
yeah,
That's cool.
they send me like all of it back, and they give me like a CD with the photos on it, and like the negatives, and like it's cute. It's pretty. It's not that. It's like $20, 25, which
Hmm.
not that bad. But anyway, I what I do is I like to span my film out for like a certain period. Usually I do it with the seasons. So like I'll shoot a roll of film from like fall to winter, and then I'll do it like spring, and I'll do like a summer roll, and then like I'll repeat that like process. So, like I'll have like
Oh,
a
that's
few months of like
cool.
film, and then
Hmm.
when I get it back, I'm like, oh, I don't remember these. That's cool.
Aw, man,
Yeah.
I haven't been able to use my film camera too in a long time. Just because I think I need my friend to look at it because, like, I think there's something wrong with it. But the
Oh
last
no.
time, have you ever used your film for film photography for like any like photo shoots or anything, or do you just use it for fun?
I sometimes like it's weird. Like I'll have like all of my cameras on me in like my bag, but like I'll just forget I have my film camera sometimes. Like, oh, I should have used it on that. But
Oh yeah.
sometimes I just use it mostly for fun. But like any shoots I get, I usually try to use it for like shoots too, if I remember.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you just do concert photography or do you also do you like to do editorials or like headshots or like anything like that?
I I feel like I mainly do concert, but like now I can't. So
I know, yeah.
it's a little tough.
Yes.
Um, but I feel like now I did other photography before, like with concert I do other stuff too, like in between before like the whole pandemic and stuff too. Like I'll do like portraits here and there. Like I wouldn't say like I'm like a wedding photographer or anything. I probably should be. That pays a lot of money.
Oh my god.
I have a friend
Yeah.
that does it,
Oh
and I was
yeah.
like, oh wow.
Oh my god, yeah. We have a couple of our friends down here. They're a husband and wife duo, and he does video, and then she does photography for weddings,
Mhm.
and that's what they do. And they only work weekends, and
Oh
they
my
have Monday through
god.
Fridays off. And I'm just like sitting here at my Monday through Friday job, and I'm like, what am I doing?
Like one of my friends is a wedding photographer, like full time, and I think I went. I he hired me for one of his weddings. He did as like his third photographer.
Oh wow. Hmm.
Yeah, he had two, um, and it was wild. I was like, do I want to actually do this? Because like,
Oh my god, it's so much time. Like I've done a few weddings, but it's only been for friends and I it's usually obviously it helps when you know the bride and groom, so it's like okay,
yeah.
like they trust me, I trust them, and I'm not going to be dealing with like a bridezilla or anything. And but it's always like people, especially nowadays with phones, it's really hard as a photographer or a videographer for weddings because it's like you're trying to get the golden shot for this
Hmm.
couple, but then you have like their grandma or their aunt or their uncle or something who has their phone right in your frame and you're like,
Yep.
hey,
Oh
I'm the
my
one
god.
with the professional
Or like
camera.
the person that has the phone too, whoever it is like, oh well, I have like an iPhone 12 or whatever. Like it takes like the same photo. I'm like, no.
I'm like, does yours actually like focus on things? Like, does it have like bokeh effects in the background? Like, I don't think it does.
Oh my
Like
god, like
yeah, like
grandmas are
iPhones
here,
shoot
like,
and yeah, iPhones
no.
shoot in 4K now, but like that it's still not the same as a freaking Sony or a Canon or a Red.
Just like I get what they're doing with it, and it's cool to have like, a phone in your pocket if you don't have your camera on you and like, oh, I can shoot in 4K and like it's all these effects, but it's just like I don't know. I feel like it's taking away from like actual photographers and like their cameras because like people are like, nah, I can get it myself. It's fine. I'm like, but this is my
I'm like,
job.
no, it's not the same. Like I just did when was that? October? It's December. Yes. Okay, yeah, October.
December? I
um
don't know.
I know, I'm like, again, time is a concept.
It's almost Christmas.
Yeah, I think yeah, it was October. My sister and I went back up north to NorCal, to the Bay Area,
Mhm.
and because one of our good friends of almost 10 years, he's getting married, and so it's my friends Dalton and Carissa, and they hired us for an engagement session, and so I did the video for it, and then my sister did photo, and it was actually like my first because I actually recently switched from Canon to Sony, and I just have like my little Sony A6100 model with my Sigma 30 millimeter.
You shoot Sony?
I do, yeah. I
Okay.
switched. I did originally shoot on Canon for years, and then I actually switched to Sony just because I needed a new camera, and I'm not that rich, and but Sony is good
I feel
quality
that.
for affordable pricing.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so I switched to Sony, and I've been trying, and I do it for both photo and video, but it's mainly I leaned it towards it more so for video because it's oh my god, the weight difference in Canon and Sony products is
Oh
insane.
my god.
Like, what you shoot on Canon, correct?
Yes.
Oh my god, like a
Yeah.
Canon 5D Mark IV, like
I have a 16.
that is a heavy beast, and especially with like whatever lens you end up
The
using,
lens,
like
yeah.
oh my
Like
god, like
I am a tiny person too, so like I don't have any arm strength and like I'm just like I would no, what the worst thing is like when I'm at a concert when they were a thing and I was like photographing them, like what I hate is like when the shows like you got venues and like they don't have a photo pit, so I gotta go from the crowd to shoot,
mhm,
which has its benefits because like usually I can shoot the whole show that way sometimes,
mhm.
but I'm short, so there's always somebody tall in front of me, so
Oh
I
my
have to
god,
always hold my camera way up.
yeah, I'm five
And
foot, so I get it.
oh my god, I'm 5'2", yeah.
There you go, yeah, it's a rough.
It's so hard. Yeah, my
But
arms were so tired when I
oh
did
my
that
god,
photo show.
the back pain also that comes
Oh my
with
yeah, my
it.
wrist too, oh my god.
Yeah, I'm like, frick, man. Like, I know I'm only in my late 20s, but like, I feel like I'm like 80. Like, what's going on? But yeah, like with Canon, it's like their models are great, but they're just so heavy. And so
Yeah.
I wanted to, and I have a lot of friends who shoot Sony, and they were giving me a lot of advice before I made the switch. And so I was looking into it. And so I did officially do it, and I am so happy I did. My quality of my content has gone up an extra net. Wait, no, that's a really big word. Exponentially. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and but yeah, like that was like the engagement session was like the first big project of mine where I was using my Sony for video because I've done quite a few photo shoots because October I was also doing spooky sessions, and so I
Mhm.
did like a little offer with people who wanted to book me, and we did like cool concepts. I had like a vampire shoot, I had
Oh, that's
a
cool.
demon shoot, I had a Pennywise shoot. It was really fun, and it was a good time for the month of October and a way for me to get back into creating, especially because
Mhm.
I didn't for months, like a lot of
Yeah,
us,
that
because
was
of the pandemic.
so hard.
And yeah, and so with the engagement session, we were able to go back up north, and they're in a small country town outside of the Bay Area. And so they literally had like, I think the most cases they had was like 10 or
Mhm.
something. So I was not stressed about going up there. And so we did the engagement session, and the video, it was like, it turned out to be like, I think I did a 3-minute edit or something for them. and I was like so in love with the footage. And we're doing their wedding in May of next year too. And
Okay.
so I'm just really excited to do the wedding because they're wonderful people, and that whole group that's in that area, that all the people I know that are going to be at the wedding, I'm like so excited to be shooting the wedding. So it's like trying to loop back to the talk of
Yeah.
weddings and engagements. They can be fun with the right people, but then
Oh,
like
for sure.
and also the money, like come on.
Like the wedding
Like,
money, that's oh my god.
oh my god, like when I was talking to my friends about it, they were telling us their packages that they offer, and they were showing me like their packages that they offer for their wedding and engagements and elopements. And so I was like looking at it, and I'm like, oh my god, they make so much money. And
Like
I'm just
props
like,
to them too.
wow, why
It's
am I
tough.
not doing this?
It's so tough now. Like props to the wedding photographers because it's just like there's still weddings happening technically, but it's like no, not as many, and they're totally different now. So it's like
Oh yeah. No, like and they were telling us too, like they didn't have weddings for a few months. So they went on unemployment just like a lot of
God.
us did. Um and so they had to do that, and that was like really difficult. And but then they were starting, I guess October for them was like ridiculous because they had a bunch of these people from March, April, May weddings rescheduled to October. And
Hmm.
so it was just like they were getting back into it. And of course, all these weddings too were they either turned into elopements. So there was only like literally the bride and groom and then their parents and then siblings. And then, or it was like very small outdoor weddings. And so that was like really good because they were able to get back into work. But at the same time, like right now, especially, I'm just like, I'm happy the wedding I'm doing is not until May, and I'm hoping that everything is better by then,
Hopefully,
but we'll see because America is
is
we're yeah.
yeah. I don't want.
Yeah,
I
there's
don't
no
want to talk about
words. There's no words. We're not doing that. Um but yeah, like if I could, I would totally get into that. It's just like the thought of doing weddings and engagements is so stressful.
It's wild too, because like when I did it with my friend, like it was stressful for me. I was like the third photographer, so I wasn't like doing too much. Like I was doing
Mhm.
like the pre-party thing, and I wasn't like I wasn't shooting like the bride and groom or like the bridesmaids or anything. Like, that was the main one. But like just to think about having to do that and like getting people together because like people are gonna be like all over the place at weddings. So you're like celebrating and whatnot, and it's just
Mhm.
like that part of it is like oh god, like it's gonna be like a lot just anxiety for me. But at the same time, like but like and I was thinking like if I did their wedding, like if I'm their photographer, like I'm shooting like their best day. And like the pictures they look back on are like my photos. So I think that's kind of
Mhm.
cool,
Oh
like the
yeah.
memories from it.
Yeah, there was a wedding I did, like, what was it? God, it must have been like 6 years ago now that I'm thinking about it. It was for my friends, Tim, and he's one of my friends from film school. And they told me when I ran into them a couple years ago, because I did video for that wedding and my sister did photo, of course. And so they were telling us that they always look back at the video and they always look back at the photos, and they're like so happy and like in love with that. And like now they have a baby, and like it's just like they can look back at that as like their the next chapter of their lives because they were together for so long. And it's just like when you hear stuff like that from clients, it's like hits different because you're like, wow, like I did that for them, and like
I
they
know.
actually like look back at it. And because you never know, like they could end up hating it, but then it's like no, they actually love it. And that always feels good when you do, like, because I feel like a lot of people in our industry, they can really doubt themselves, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
especially our generation too is like so many of us have like we struggle with depression, anxiety, like all of
Mhm.
that stuff.
Especially
And
this year.
oh my God, like, if you're not dealing with
Mm,
that, like, I'm like, what do you do? Like, tell
like,
me your secret.
tell me, what do you do to, like, say, uh, "Okay."
I know. Yeah. I'm like, how do you do that? um, But yeah, I feel like a lot of people in our industry is, and it's also our industry is very competitive
Oh
too.
yeah.
Like so many people call themselves photographers. But you know, there are the bad ones out there and then there's the good ones.
Yeah, I hate to admit it, but
Yeah, yeah. And so it's just like it's like we can really like doubt ourselves and look back at our work and we're like, is that good? But then like you have these people who like when you have your people who support you and they are like, oh my god, like I love your photography or I love your video work, like
Mhm.
obviously words of affirmation are very great to
Oh
hear,
yeah.
especially for people who do struggle with anxiety and depression. I feel like it can be very helpful to have that support system and knowing that like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like as long as I have my circle who's like supporting me and like I know what that I'm supposed to be doing this, and like it's just
Oh yeah.
it can be hard to be confident in yourself, especially when you compare
Mhm.
yourself constantly, especially
Oh
with
yeah.
Instagram. Like
Oh my, I was just doing that today.
oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
God.
so hard.
Yeah, it's so difficult. And I know I do it all the time, like whether it's photography or video work or just myself. It's just like social media, like I think it's an important thing to take a break every so often from social media.
Yeah, I did that for a few months this year,
Yeah.
and it was really good because I was like, "Wow, I don't have to check anything. I'm good." Like,
Yeah, yeah, you're literally like just worrying about yourself and like living your life and focusing on you. And it's like we all need to take that into
it was
consideration.
weird about that too, though. Is like because I was taking a break from like literally everything, so
Hmm.
like Instagram, Twitter, whatever.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
use Facebook, so
Yeah, I just keep Facebook because of my family and
yeah, same.
I was like, I think I was telling my roommate, I think also because of my high school teachers and my college teachers that I still
Yeah,
am connected with
I
on there, but
do
that's
not
it.
post on there.
Yeah, yeah. I think I update my Facebook profile photo like once a year and I'm like, hey guys, this is what I look like now. Okay, bye.
Oh, I feel that. But
Yes.
when I took a break, it felt weird sometimes. So I was like, oh, like I usually like would check like Instagram a lot. That's the app I use probably the most is Instagram.
Hmm.
Um, because like as like an artist too, especially photographers, photos, Instagram, like hello, um, that's like oh wait, one of the more than Twitter, I think, is a better way for like to showcase photos. And so like I wasn't having like much work in the early months anyway. Honestly, this year I haven't had much work.
Yeah.
I just haven't been motivated enough to like get in that workflow.
Hmm.
Um, but when I took like a break, and I was like, but I was like, damn, should I be like posting things like on my Instagram? Like, are people just gonna like not know I'm a photographer anymore? Like, what am I?
Oh, I know. I totally understand that.
Oh my god, it was like it's tough because like it's like my job, so it's like it's like I have to be posting in a way.
Hmm. Yeah. I think I was talking with there's this one guy I met a couple years ago now, I think. And he did work at TikTok.
Oh
He was
god.
like one of the I know. He's working at like he was like one of the social media people, and so like we met him at a I think it was just like this was before the pandemic, of course, a couple years ago. And it was at a bar in the arts district, and there was like a little like marketing get together or something like that. And it was
Mhm.
basically just a way to meet new people in the area. And so I met like other photographers. I met like some actors or models. There was a couple of like what's it called, like therapy people, or like what's it called, lifestyle vloggers or
Oh yeah.
influencers, you know, like that kind of thing. But then there was this one guy there, and he was a social media guy, and he like strictly worked in social media. And so he was telling us like what he has learned from working at TikTok. And basically, it's like to actually like grow an authentic audience, you have to post on your story at least 3 times.
Yep.
And, or
Mhm.
is it three? It's like 3 to 5 times. And I'm like, okay, that's easy. I do that all the time anyway. Because stories, I feel like it's just like such a nice automatic thing to do instead of making a whole post and like writing out a paragraph and like or a caption, you know. And but then he's saying too, I guess like with most social media, with especially Instagram, to grow an authentic audience, you have to post at least 1 to 3 times a day on your page. And I'm like, wait, 3 times? You have to post three
Oh my
different
god.
images? And I'm like, why? And he's like, I don't know, but that's just like what we found while I was working at TikTok. What we found is that that's like the most successful way to grow an authentic audience. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that.
It's like
Like, it's
so
just so
weird.
annoying. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. um like I remember I saw this post, I think it was on Twitter. I think someone tweeted something like, oh, how was it worded? I'm trying to think. They were like, "Do you post or like do you make or post your art?" No, they said, "Do you make your art or like photos or art in general? Do you make it so you can just post it on Instagram, or do you make it because like you like it or something like that?"
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Damn, I thought about that. I was like, I feel like some people just make like I shouldn't say make it, but like with the idea of like they're gonna be posting it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually wow. Wait, yeah, that's a really great tweet to think about because I feel like there are people who literally just make stuff for Instagram,
To get
but
likes, and that's
yeah,
like
they get likes to get a following, to blah blah blah. Um, but like, I feel like for me, I have to create to be happy.
yes.
Yeah, yeah, and I
I
think
feel
it.
that.
Yeah, and it's like it's really like with the spooky sessions that I was talking about earlier. Like that was like so fun. It was like so great to get back into creating some really cool concepts again, for especially for not being able to for so long. And I feel like as artists, as photographers, whether you're a photographer, a model, an actor, whatever, as long as you're creating something for you and not worrying about like Instagram or social media, like I feel like that's so important to remember. Like, why are you doing this? Are you
Oh
doing
my
this for
god, yes.
you? Like, and um I think yeah, it's just like it's annoying to see. Oh, there's this one. Wait, oh wait, backtrack. Okay, there's this one photographer who's from my hometown, and I'm not gonna say anything. So I'm not gonna.
Don't expose.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not that kind of person.
No, me
But
either.
yeah, but so they have a huge following, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, well, yeah, like their photography is pretty good, but it's very basic lifestyle portraits.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just edited. I don't even know if they edit them at all, like that much. But I found out like a couple years after like following this person, I did find out that they shoot in JPEG. They don't even shoot
Oh
in RAW.
no.
I know.
No.
I know. And they have
Oh my
like over, they
god.
have like 100K followers at least. And I'm like, why do people follow? Like, if people who aren't, I mean, the people who aren't in photography, they won't understand. Like, if it's a
Yeah.
pretty picture, they like it.
Yeah, like they'll
But
follow. It's
but
fine.
as an artist or as a photographer, you're sitting there, you're like, I shoot in RAW so I can actually touch up and edit and color all of these photos the way I do my art. But then this person literally just shoots on JPEG, puts it on their phone,
That's the bare minimum.
and yeah, and I think he just uses Lightroom Mobile, or he uses or they use what's it called? Visco, I think.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And I'm like, oh my god, this is killing me that this person has such a huge following and they literally do the bare minimum.
It's just frustrating sometimes too, because like there's those people out there, like they're fine. They're probably just doing it, making art, whatever. That's
Mm-hmm.
what they're doing. Like no hate, but it's just like it's frustrating because like there's those types of people, and there's like people that are like putting all the work in, and you can see that, but like at the same time, it's just like they're not getting as noticed. And it's like we're
Mm-hmm.
putting all this work in, and we like our stuff, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
not to be like notice me, like I'm not like that, but it's like it's nice to have that validation.
Oh my god, absolutely. Like, and it sucks too because it's like I feel like I'm so sorry. This person comes to my apartment outside of it. They're like one of those like little food vendors. They just like
Oh my
walk around. I
god.
think they have like hot dogs and shit, but
Ooh.
whatever. I know. I've never gotten anything from them. But anyway, so back to the topic. Yeah, I think it also sucks too these days because I feel like with Instagram especially, the algorithm is just shit. It's pure shit.
Oh yes. Oh my god.
It like when it first started, like it was so easy to get new followers and get like a fan or get fans, quote unquote, to follow you and like actually follow you for your work. But now like the past couple years, it's like even people who have like the big followings like 50k plus to
Hmm.
even like 500k, like it's still like even their engagement has gone down exponentially. Like it's like this whole Instagram thing with like the shopping bag icon now
Oh
that they
my
have
god.
is so annoying. I'm like, if I wanted to go shopping, I would go on Amazon or
Yeah, or
Etsy,
not
support the
Instagram.
small businesses.
Yeah, like
Like if I want to go shopping, I'm not going to do it on Instagram. Like, let's stop that. Let's get it back to being a creative space for people to put out
exactly.
content that people
That's what
will.
it kind of used to be, and now it's just like everybody's on there, and it's like let's shop on here. Let's do all this. I'm like
I
it.
know. And I'm like, why? Like, I think I was talking about this too with some photographers out here too. And we were all like, I really think that there should be a
I
new
knew,
app that
yeah.
needs to come out that's
Mm-hmm.
for photo and film and acting
Only.
and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Like that would be amazing if there was a new app that could come out and where it's strictly a space for people to create content and you actually grow a great audience. And well, now that I'm talking about like that kind of thing, I feel honestly like whether you are on it or you hate it or whatever, TikTok. I love TikTok.
Okay,
I've
here's the thing.
yes.
I used to hate it, honestly. Still kind of do for some reasons on it, like some videos.
Oh yeah,
um,
yeah.
but recently, like I was like, I'm never downloading. I'm never making an account. But I'm like, wait, like now that I'm like Twitch, now I'm on Twitch. Like, it's opened my eyes like different things. I was like, okay, I'll check TikTok out. People would send me a bunch of TikToks. I'm like, all right, and like I'd go like through like my for you page and like whatever, and like I'd follow hashtags and like I'd look through them. Like I'd actually find like some cool things out, and I'd find some cool people from it. Like I found like a cool Twitch streamer from TikTok, and I followed them, and like I found some like design tips on there or something, and I was like, oh wait, if you just follow the right things, it's kind of cool.
See, yeah, that's what I was gonna be saying about TikTok. Like how I don't know how their system works, but their for you page and their algorithm is fantastic. Like once you're on there, like of course at first, like when if you're first logging on to TikTok, you're going to see the stupid content of the
Yeah.
stupid little 15, 16-year-old dancers, quote unquote dancers that call
Mm.
themselves dancers. They're not dancers. I'm just saying it. They're not. I know dancers, they're not dancers.
Yeah.
But once you go through TikTok, there's actually really cool content on there. And once you've liked enough things, TikTok figures out like what you like, and that's why it's called For You
Exactly.
page. And it's so cool because it's like I've actually seen a lot of really cool photography things, and I've seen
Yeah.
these really creative people make these really cool little 1 minute like short film skits, like, and they've shot with their fancy cameras, they've uploaded it. A lot of people on comments are like, this is like quote unquote TikTok premium, because they're like, I didn't remember to sign up for TikTok premium with this content. And it's just like for example, like I'm a big Harry Potter fan, and so I've been getting a lot of Harry Potter stuff on my feed. And there's this group of girls, I think they're just three friends, I don't know if they're sisters or they're related, but they have created some really cool little series that they are like the House of Black. So it's basically Bellatrix and then her two sisters,
Mhm.
and they pretend to be them when they were going to Hogwarts. And it's like really high quality content. And I'm like, wow, that's like so creative. That's so fun. Everyone loves it. They literally get like hundreds of thousands of likes on those videos. And then you get like the comedians who are like super funny on there, and that's like a really fun way to be on TikTok when you have stand-up comedians. Um, and it's just like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know how, again, I don't know how TikTok does it, but their algorithm, everyone else should be doing that.
Yeah, it's like the For You page is a little bit too for you sometimes.
Oh my God. I'm
Like,
like, wait, how did you figure this out?
right? Like, I just like have gone like I hate it because like it makes me just scroll so much and look at so many things. I'm wasting time half the time. But like that's what
Understandable.
everybody does on
Yes.
TikTok. But like a
Yes.
lot of things I do learn, and I might honestly even like make an actual account and like actually post some like photo things and like try to get like noticed on there or something, you know?
Yeah, I have uploaded a couple of like photo edits where I'll post a video and it'll be showing the shoot of me shooting it, and then I'll upload the photos to it. But they haven't done like too crazy. I don't know if it's like I'm using the right hashtags or posting at the right
Mhm.
time. It's like that's also, I think that's the only thing with TikTok is like it does matter when you post and what
Yeah,
hashtags you use, but there are some people who literally um, use a or they won't put any hashtags and
yeah.
they will get thousands of likes. And I'm
It's
like,
so
how does
annoying,
this work?
right? Like social media is just like I don't I don't get it sometimes. Like some things are just like not an algorithm, some things are, and it's like certain apps are different, and it's like you get noticed more on one than the other, and it's like it's so awful too because like I just hate social media like in general for like how toxic it genuinely is most of the time, like everything because like you're either comparing yourself or you're like going down like all these holes of like, oh, like I wish I was this person or I wish my work was like theirs, and like that's damaging. But it's just like I hate it because like I feel like you just in order to like maybe not so much, but like in a way, like in order to be like what's the word? I don't want to say noticed, but like in order to like maybe get some gigs and like jobs, especially in like photography too. Like in order to get like actual like clients, sometimes like you have to kind of have like a following on social media in a way.
Yep. Actually, I feel like that, right? I think these days, I don't think it does help, obviously, to
Yeah.
have an audience or have a larger following on your Instagram or your social media. But I have noticed, though, that like you don't really need that many. Like one of my friends, he's a videographer, he's a video director, and he has been killing the game lately. And I'm so proud of him because he's been
Oh
working
yeah.
with a lot of music videos, and like he actually just did like a little like, I think he did like an NFL promo or
Ooh.
something. I know, with like Megan the Stallion.
Oh my
And
god.
I know, I was like, are you kidding me? He just posted about it today and I was like, dude, Carlos, you're killing it. Like what the heck? And but he only has like, I think he only has like 4,000 followers. It's not like a crazy amount, but he's still like killing it in
Mhm.
this industry. And I feel like when I see my friends who don't have a lot of like a huge following, but they're killing it, I feel like it's literally who you know. Oh, he doesn't even have
That's the thing.
4,000. He has like 2,977. I just checked just to confirm. But yeah, he only has that many followers, and like it really is who you know in the industry. And
Mhm.
it's what was it? There was like a saying like, make sure that you have friends that when they walk into a room that they'll bring your name up if they think, if they meet someone and they like, oh, like, do you know someone who can do this, and they bring your name up, like that's someone that's important in your life, because it's like that's how you're going to make connections, especially here in LA.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's like,
That's God.
yeah, it's LA is insane.
Yeah, I can't
It's
imagine that.
great. It's great, but it's insane because there's just so many of us who
So
are
much
all
competition.
trying to do the same thing.
Yes. I feel like I mean, probably like for everybody, but I feel like might mean like mostly artists, but like like actors and stuff. Like that's I feel like that's like the main like thing out there, like Hollywood.
Oh my god, yeah. And like I feel like Hollywood is a whole other world. Cuz
Oh
like
God, yeah.
LA County and Orange County are two different worlds, and and then LA County, there's just so many different parts of it because it's like you got Burbank, which is where a lot of like YouTube studios are or film studios. And then
Hmm.
you've got Silver Lake, which is known as like hipster town because all the hipsters go there because there's a bunch of coffee shops, there's a bunch of vegan spots, there's all these really cute little small business restaurants and all that stuff. And then you've got downtown LA, which is known for all the homeless people who live there. But then there's also all of these really cool photo studios to go to. And downtown is basically everyone will drive to downtown for a gig.
Hmm.
Whether you're in Hollywood or if you're in Long Beach, they will drive to downtown because it's downtown. Downtown's literally the middle of everything. um, but then you got Long Beach, you got Newport and Huntington are more Orange County, but you got the beach towns. So that's like a whole other world on itself because like some people don't even leave that area. Some people don't even leave Hollywood or West Hollywood. They will literally just, their world is in Hollywood or West Hollywood. They will not leave outside of that. And it's like from, let's say, the drive from Burbank to Anaheim, I'm just using Anaheim because that's where Disneyland is, RIP.
Hmm.
Um, but I feel like even people who drive from Burbank to Anaheim, like people will complain about that because it's an hour and a half drive because of
Oh my
traffic.
God.
Without traffic, it's only like a 30-minute drive.
That's
But people will complain about the time to drive everywhere because there's so many people who live here. And like I don't mind driving everywhere. Like I'm used to doing that, so I don't
yeah, I
care.
don't
Like
drive.
you don't drive?
I don't drive.
Oh wow. Yeah. It's like I feel like it's kind of essential to have a car unless you live in Hollywood or you live in the valley. Like you
Mm,
don't really need to because there's Uber and Lyft, but like
that's expensive though.
oh my god, it's so expensive. Like
Yeah.
I've heard how much people can spend on those. I'm like, why do you do that? Like
I'm
that's literally a car
lucky.
payment.
I've only used them like a few times, but like they have like short distances when I wouldn't have any other way to like get anywhere. But like
Hmm.
I'm lucky to be like close enough to like a subway or a train station. So like I just go into like the city and I do it through. Our train goes like like a lot of places. So like I can get off and on to like places pretty easily.
Yeah, I feel like it is different though over there too because on the East Coast
Oh
you
my
have
god.
that. Like here I think we have the metro. I have never used that, but like that's a whole other thing too. Like it's not as efficient I feel like as it is over on the East Coast. Um is
It's
that
just it's
correct? I'm not sure.
um it's so different here.
Hmm.
Like I feel like well even like California like when you were explaining like the drives and the different like parts and the counties I'm like it's such a giant state and like like there's so many parts to it like there's parts to every state but like there's so much to that and like
Oh my
here it's
god.
just like we got like the coast and then like the middle and then like the west part. That's how
Oh,
we just
and
describe
then that's it.
it.
Yeah, no, California is just so huge. Like, and I've lived in both NorCal and SoCal, and they are, again, NorCal and SoCal, I feel like could be two different states. Like, it's so different. But like LA, guys, is no joke. It's its own little world.
God.
If I didn't have to be in LA for my career, I would move. I would not be living here because it's so expensive.
Yeah,
um,
one of my friends used to live out there. I think she's still like she's from there, but she
mhm.
moved here to go to school here. So like she'll go back and forth for like
Mm,
to go home, but like
mm.
she, lives here for the time being.
Yeah, I don't blame you because how, God, it's just like it's so hectic here, and it's like it's on the go all the time for everybody. Um, but sometimes you just gotta like chill. That's why I live outside of LA. I live closer to Long Beach area just because
Mhm.
it's quiet. It's more quiet. It's a way to escape the day to day of the chaos. um, and that's what I like about the beach towns because it's so chill out here. It's like and then but as soon as you enter like downtown or Hollywood area, it's like it's insane. I'm very grateful for all of the opportunities and the people that I've met since I've moved down here. Like, I don't know how my life would be if I did stay in NorCal. I don't even know. I can't even think about that.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
God. But it's just like I'm very, very grateful for all the people and the opportunities I've had. Um, but of course, I feel like if I don't find the right thing here for the next couple years, then I'm like, okay, what's the next step?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, because
That's always a
like,
tough decision.
oh my God, yeah. Like, just everything. Like, I think the pandemic too, I feel like with 2020, like, it gets you thinking about everything.
Oh,
Because it's
yep.
like everyone, yeah, it's like everyone's had so much time to themselves and they're like,
Too much.
like,
Way too much.
yes, like I've seen so many like funny posts because like of course our fucking generation, we're the meme culture, so it's like we're people are so funny and creative. I love it, and it's just like they make these really relatable memes, and then you're just sitting there like, wow, what is time? Like, what is
It doesn't
my
exist.
purpose
Like,
on this earth? Like,
I feel like I feel like it's still like December of last year. Like it's not even December of this year. I feel like
I
it
know.
went by too fast. Like,
Oh
I
my
mean, I
god.
guess good, but like what?
Yeah, I'm just like when I looked at my calendar, I was like, "Oh yeah, it is December." Like, what the heck? Like
I
it like March is literally in 4
a
months.
memory. Like I
And I'm terrified to look at March considering what happened
yeah.
in March of this year.
Oh my god. I don't even have words. Like I had so many plans. I was like, I'm gonna shoot so many concerts this year. I'm gonna go to so many, and like I was gonna like travel more, and I was like, nope.
Yep. Yeah, I was planning because I've never traveled out of the country, unfortunately, and so my sister and I we were gonna get our passports this year so we can travel. And oh well, nope.
Nope.
We definitely want to plan for something hopefully next year, but I'm
Yeah.
just thinking probably for safety reasons, probably just wait until 2022.
Mhm.
But we'll see.
Like late
Considering,
2021, maybe.
yeah, maybe late 2021. That would be
I
nice
don't
because
know.
I know I really want to go to Oktoberfest in Germany, so I'm
Oh
like,
my god.
I'm like hoping for that day.
I'm trying to go
But
to
yeah,
Canada, honestly.
oh my god, yeah, I would love to go to Canada. My grandparents are from Canada, so I'm
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, and I have some family up there too, so I'm like, I want to go up there. Like, why not? It's
I just wanna
like
go
so pretty up
anywhere
there.
that's,
Hmm?
like, not I wanna go anywhere that's not here. Like, I like it here, but I've been here my whole life.
Oh my god, same. Yeah, I've always had this goal or a dream of mine is to live in another country for at least like 2 years just to
Mhm.
experience a whole different thing. Um I would probably obviously need to look, and that's just like a whole other topic. Just like thinking about dual citizenship and what's like it's
Yeah.
so annoying too. Like I was talking about with some friends of like we were like, okay, how do we depending on the election, we were like, how do we move out of the country? And and so of course like we were looking and apparently that if you move out of the country but you want to stay as a US citizen so you can have the option of coming back, you still have to pay your taxes even if you don't live here.
Yikes.
Yeah, and I'm like, why do they make that so complicated? And apparently, then it's also super expensive to lose or to ask to remove your U.S. citizenship, and that's a whole other process. Like, I'm not going to deal with that. Um, but we were like just like looking at like Canada and like Germany and like the
Mhm.
UK overall, even like New Zealand because they've been killing it. Um, but like we were just like looking for fun and it's just like it's so complicated to try moving somewhere. But I'm like, okay, I still want to do that one day because like I took German in high school and I'm like, okay, I would love to live there for a couple years. And there are like film jobs out in the UK, especially because of the success of like all
Oh,
the
yeah.
BBC shows that you see and
Mhm.
like the originals like on Netflix. Like I think like Peaky Blinders is one. Oh, and then obviously The Witcher. I don't know
Oh
if you
yeah.
watched The
Hmm.
Witcher.
I've seen a little bit of it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Did you play the video game at all or
I
no?
didn't. I know they have one though.
Oh, they have like three.
3.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
It
my
started
god.
as I think it started as a PC game, and then it got into Xbox and PlayStation and all that stuff. And then The Witcher 3, I think that won like Game of the Year, like when it came out.
Oh my
Um,
god.
yeah, my sister's obsessed with it. She's actually like to beat the game already and played the expansion packs already. And but like yeah, The Witcher is just like it's such a good show. And I'm like I feel like the success of that, like I was looking at the studios that produced the show just to
Mhm.
see. I'm like, where are these based at? And they're mainly in the UK. And I'm like, okay, that's good to know that I can look into film jobs out in the UK if I ever want to move out there. Um, and yeah, it's just like really cool to think about like all the places that you could go to once the pandemic is over.
I think there's just like so much opportunity, like really anywhere, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. I think LA is like the big boss, like like in a video game, it's the boss that you have to like beat to
Hmm.
get into it. But then I feel like once you can handle LA, I feel like you can handle anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I mean, I think LA and like maybe New York too. I don't
Oh,
know, like I never been to New
oh,
York, but I feel like that's also messy.
oh my God, New York, I feel like is definitely more Broadway focused.
Fashion and Broadway.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm just like new.
And
I
LA is
can't
like
even.
film and like, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah. LA, I
here, I
feel
don't know, I
like.
think we're music kind of here a little bit, like we're everything. But
Oh
like
yeah,
because
we're
we have
in.
Berkeley,
Are you're in Boston, right?
yeah,
Yes. Okay.
'cause we have Berkeley College of Music, and that's like a one of the like
Oh yeah.
the famous music schools. So
Oh yeah, yeah. I had a couple friends who went there. And like I feel like Boston's a really good spot. But it's like
it
I feel
snows a
like
lot. So.
any big yeah, like I feel like any big city, obviously New York and LA are going to be like the two spots that people are
Hmm.
going to choose between. But like one of my friends, they're a singer and they did live in LA for a couple of years and then they moved back up north to the Bay Area and then they I was talking with them recently like a couple months ago I think and they were telling me they're like yeah I think I might move to New York and I'm like what
What?
and yeah and they're it's because they're a singer and they might want to try the Broadway thing or something and I'm like wait you do acting too now like wait what and but like I mean I feel like LA and New York are two completely they're like stepsisters I feel
Hmm.
like
Yeah, they're like the
like
same, but like not.
there's this like the same but different.
Yeah,
Oh God, I can't even imagine living in New York. It just seems like so insane over there.
it's like it's just constant like energy. Just it never stops. I feel like.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like a couple of my favorite YouTubers are out there, but I'm like, how do you live there? But I mean, they were born and raised there, so I
Yeah,
guess that helps. But I have no intentions of moving to New York ever.
I've always wanted to like I always wanted to like go there because it's only like 4 hours away from me. But like
Oh, you've
I
never
don't
been
know.
there?
I haven't been. No, I literally
Oh my
the furthest
God.
place I've been. Well, I've been every place on the East Coast, kind of. Like
Hmm.
the New England states, so it's like Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, like those mountainy type places. Connecticut. So like everywhere else but New York and
Oh
like
my God.
Pennsylvania and New
Yeah,
Jersey.
I've only I've only been to New York once, and that was like for an eighth grade middle school trip.
It's always the
uh,
8th grade middle school trip.
I know, like we raised funds for it, and it was a really fun trip. I haven't been since, but I would love to. It's literally been like over 10 years since I've been to New York, and I'm like, I really want to go, like, but with friends and like a small group and like have
I
a good
mean,
time. It
listen,
just
I
like
don't
seems
know.
like it would be a fun place to visit. I don't think about living
Visit,
there
not
though.
to live, like, because I don't know if you want the snow at the East
Oh,
Coast, right?
absolutely not. I'm born and raised California girl.
Yeah, I figured you
I
wouldn't.
have thin skin for
But
cold.
literally, we are getting either tonight or tomorrow, we're getting like 12 feet of snow.
Oh my
Wait, feet. No.
god.
Yeah. Yeah, 12 feet.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I was
God.
like, wait, is that right? Yeah, 12 feet. 12
Dude,
inches? Wait, no.
oh my
Hold on.
God.
Wait, I'm not
You're
good
gonna
at
be like
math.
snowed in if it's 12 feet. Like,
Yeah, no, I said 12 feet. I failed basic algebra. I can't. I said no, because 10, no, what makes a foot? 12 inches is what I
12
meant.
inches. You meant 12 inches, right?
12 feet. Oh, yeah, that'd be like over my house.
Yeah, I'd be like 12 feet. That's literally would be a house. Yes.
Oh, yeah, but we're getting that much over a foot, so that's fun.
Oh
But
my
we're
gosh.
used to it. It's fine.
Well, yeah, yeah.
I'm actually
See,
excited for
like,
it.
yeah, I think the most we get is rain, and then
Hmm.
we get fog. Um and then I think in the mornings, okay, we get really cold at night though, like especially because I live closer to the beach, so it's like it can
Yeah.
get way colder than inland. But like I think the coldest it's been so far this year at nighttime and in the mornings it's like 40 degrees.
Oh God.
And I'm sure that's like not even that cold compared to you.
Yeah, it's a toasty 27 right now.
Oof, yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, it's very cold here, to me at least.
Yeah, like
Like I think
California
I
people will come here. Actually, funny enough, Ozzy, he came here last year, and it
oh
was like
yeah.
September, I think, which it was like September. Our weather is annoying. Like in September, it could be either hot or like cold. I don't know. Like the other it was a few days ago. It's December. A few days ago, it was like 60
Mhm.
degrees. I'm like, hello, but um, he came here last year, and it was kind of still summerish weather, but like it was like 70, I think, or 60, and he had like a whole jacket on.
And you're like, this is nothing.
Yeah.
I think that's like what happened with my because I have some friends up in Washington, and they get
Mhm.
pretty cold there too. Because
Always
they're
rains.
yeah, they're well, they get snow where they live. They're on the side of the state that's closest to Idaho.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they get a lot of snow. But they, what was it? They came down a couple years ago, and it had to have been in the fall. It was for a concert. It was do you know who Marianas Trench is?
Yes. I've
Yes.
seen them.
Yes, me too. Yeah, I have like a group of friends. We are all really big fans of them. So like my friends from Washington, whenever if like Marianas Trench can't go or doesn't go to Washington, then they just come down here and they go with us to either
Mm.
Sacramento or San Francisco. And at the time. And so they had come down. It was like it was fall, and like it was like during the day in San Francisco it was like 50 degrees, I think, which was
Oh my
freaking
God.
cold. It was so cold, but our friends were loving the weather. They were like, this is so
Yep.
warm, and we're like, what?
Mhm.
Yeah, and then it was like, okay, like, okay, we get it, you're from Washington, you have thicker skin.
Like perfect weather for me. Oh my God, like 50, 60. Oh God.
Oh,
It's
no,
perfect.
perfect weather for me is like 70 degrees. I'm like, that is perfect.
Fall weather, I love
It,
fall.
oh my God. Yes. Fall is a wonderful season, and I really need to make a trip up to either Oregon or Washington to experience like an actual fall because I mean, like
Oh yeah.
Sacramento, we have fall, like they're the city of trees. So they literally have fall every year. Like the trees turn green they go from green to the reds, yellows, oranges, all that stuff. And it's beautiful during the fall. But here in LA, Orange County, LA County, like we don't get shit.
Yeah,
It's literally just
that's
fog.
why I don't want
And
to live there.
then, yeah, we have like palm trees.
Yeah,
Nothing
that's good.
changes. It's just like, yeah. And I'm like, when I first moved out here a couple years ago, I remember it did rain a lot more than it does now. And I'm like, I want the rain to be back. Like, I want to feel like it's winter. It's only been like in the 60s, I think, during the day here. So it's like,
Oh my
okay,
God.
it's fall or it's winter, I guess. I don't know.
And then when 60 here, like, what the heck?
Yeah, you're like, what is this warmth?
Oh my god, that's wild. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh my
Yeah.
god, I just got like sidetracked. My brain like
Yeah,
sometimes shuts
you're
off like
okay.
mid conversation, and like I don't know why that. Anyway, back to the story.
you have
I
a
don't know what I'm
yeah.
saying.
I totally get that.
No, I not even related to this at all, but I was just thinking for a second, since you're a photographer, I have actually had it's like you're the third or fourth photographer I've had on here, maybe third. I have a lot of
Oh, cool.
photography friends.
Mm-hmm.
um, so
Of
I
course.
always ask them, what is their, what is their? I know this is so hard because I never can answer it either. But I was like, what would be your favorite either photo or like project that you've done? I know like you film and stuff too, so it's like
Oh,
or photo series or like
yeah.
project.
Ooh, oh God, that's so
I know
hard.
that's so tough. I don't even know
Um,
my own, so
yeah, yeah, it's so hard. Okay, I guess like over the few years that I've lived here, I really have been able to work with some people that I like actually admire their work. I think like a couple
Mhm.
years ago, when it was like one of the first big projects that my sister and I did, and there's this little emo band from back in the day. They were called the Cab. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Mhm. Have yeah,
You have? Okay, yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
So, yeah, yeah. So I'm sure whoever listens to this, and if they're an emo kid, you might know the Cab. They were around for a few years. So I don't know even how did this even happen? I think oh, okay, wait. Okay, I know how this happened. Yeah. Um so I have this friend of mine and his name's Clayton and he's also a musician and before we even moved to LA, my sister had a photo shoot with him and he had posted the photos and all that stuff and he was also a person in the emo pop punk community and
Mhm.
so he has a lot of friends with a bunch of these artists. And so one of these artists wanted he found my sister's page because of Clayton's profile and the photos that he had posted of the ones my sister took of him. And so he had followed her and so then they stayed in contact and then when we moved here he was doing a album release party. So the guy that we ended up working with, his name's Alexander De Leon, and he is a fantastic human. He is super talented. He was the lead singer for the Cab, and he was doing this new project of his called Bones. And he needed to hire people to cover his album release party or EP release party in
Mhm.
LA. And so somehow my sister and we were hired for it. She did the photos that night. I did video and there was quite a few emo people that I recognized from bands that I had seen in concert or had listened to and I was like, "Oh, hey, that's that person." um it was just like no big deal. Like, okay,
Yeah, it's
I'm
fine.
in the
It's
room with these
good.
people. It's fine. Yeah. And so it was just like, it was such like a cool opportunity to work with him. And he was just like such a sweet human. And he loved the photos and video that came out of it. And then I think he had a release party in LA and they had a release party in New York. And so he had someone else do the New York one, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think that was like one of like the first big projects that my sister and I did when we first moved out here. And it was just like, okay, this is why I moved here. Like, I have these opportunities that are going to be presented to me from living out here. And then I think another few months go by, and we ended up doing an interview thing with. This is another favorite project of mine. Sorry. Um,
No, it's good.
yeah, but I got to so my sister shot the concert for his band. And then we also interviewed him before the show. And his name's do you know who Jamie Campbell Bower is?
I don't think so.
Yeah. If you look him up, you might know him. I know he was an actor. I don't know if he does acting still. I actually found out that, I mean, I saw on his Instagram that he is going to be in the next season of Stranger Things, and
Oh,
I am super excited for him because I'm like, hell yeah, like you would totally fit in on that
hell
show.
yeah.
Yeah. But I guess so. He was in Sweeney Todd with Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham
Oh, wow.
Carter. Yeah. He was the kid who sang Joanna in that movie.
Oh.
Yeah, that was, I guess, his like first film that he's ever done, and then he was in the Mortal Instrument movie with Lily Collins. What else has he done? Oh, he was also in like Harry Potter, but he had like a very very small role. He played what's his name? Gildrick Godric. No. What's his
I have
name?
no idea.
I can't remember what his name is. It doesn't matter. It's okay.
It's
But
fine.
yeah, so Jamie, he was like, I had grown up like watching some of his projects. And so then when we saw he's also in a band called Counterfeit, which is a really great UK band. They're like a pop punk emo band, and he's a singer. And they were doing their first US tour, and they played at the Chain Reaction in Anaheim. And for some reason, I don't even know how we did this, but we scored an interview, and Max got a photo pass to shoot the
Ooh.
show. And so, yeah, so we also got to interview and meet Jamie before the show and got to know him. And like that was like a really big surreal moment because I'm like, wow, this is like a big actor. Like if you know him, you know him. And it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
it was just like okay, honest to God, he was the one of the sweetest people we have ever worked with. Like
I love
I
that.
will never forget. Yeah, I will never forget. He was just so chill, and like his energy, like like when you meet someone, their energy,
Yeah.
you you just know if it's bad vibes
Mhm.
or good vibes.
Yeah.
And he was just such a sweet human being, and he was just so nice. He was so easy to talk to, and I'll never forget that. And I hope to one day work with him again. But we'll see. But yeah, I think those are like the two like bigger ones when I first moved here.
Mhm.
And then I'm like actually happy with. But then like personal projects with like photo, I feel like it's hard to compare because
Oh,
it's like,
totally.
yeah, it's just like I've changed. My style of work has changed a lot in the past few years, like learning new
Yeah.
techniques with
It's never gonna be the
editing. And
same.
yeah. So it's like really hard to really compare shoots because I really enjoyed like all of them. I mean, there probably is a handful that I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, I don't know. Oh,
Could have
fuck,
been
what was
better,
that?
but
Yeah. So but it was just like, everyone has good days, and um it's just so hard to choose with photo. I feel like um it's just fun. Like I'm
yeah,
really
someone asked
grateful to
me.
be to get into this industry. Like I don't
Oh,
know
for
what I
sure,
would be
yeah.
doing if I
Same.
didn't.
I remember somebody asked me one time a similar question, but they're like, "What is your favorite photo you've taken?" I'm like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, it's
I
like where do I begin?
like all of them.
All of
Well,
them.
not all of
And
them.
plus,
Like,
it's like we've all taken probably thousands and thousands of
cause like
photos.
I'll have like a favorite photo after like every concert I do. Like I'll look through them. I was like, "Oh, this is the one. Like this is the one." And that's like
This is
every
it.
concert
Oh
I do.
yeah.
Like this is the one.
Yes. Oh
So it's
yeah.
like I
There's
have a
definitely
favorite photo
moments
like
like
after
that.
every shoot. So like I
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't just pick one from like all the years of shot. That's so hard.
Oh, it's so difficult. Like,
I guess
no,
you can do like
I
photo of
can't
the year
choose.
maybe. Like do like
Oh,
dim
yeah.
it down. You can do like photo of the year maybe, but like that's
No,
still a lot.
dude,
That's
I
still
lose
tough.
track of time though
So
with
long.
my photos. Yeah. Like luckily I do keep I'm organized when it comes to my editing. So
Yeah,
it's like
I don't
I
think I
have
am.
my folders for like 2018, 2019,
Actually, I do that.
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
just
think
easy to
you
like
just
organize
edit
that.
with
And
editing
then
Lightroom.
you like, yeah. And it's like you
Okay.
look back at the photos and you're like, oh shit, like this was from this year?
Ish, that
Like you're
long ago?
like, this
Oh
was
my
so
god.
long ago, but it was like
So
so
long.
recent.
I kind of like doing that though, because like if they're like from a while back, like I was looking at a bunch of my old concert photos from like 20, oh god, 15, I think. When like I first started, technically, I didn't technically get my
Mm-hmm.
first photo pass until like 2017. Um, it was one time I snuck my camera into a show.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, it worked. Like they told me to put it away, and I didn't listen.
Oh, I actually did sneak my GoPro in. I
Ooh,
have a new GoPro now, but my old one, like when I first got it, I think I brought it into a concert and I was
oh
trying
my
to
god,
film, and I remember this was up in Sacramento. The security guy legit just like yanked it out of my hand and he was like, "You can pick it up after the show." And I
oh
was
my god,
like,
no, I was so bold.
"Oh."
I was like 16 or something too, and I was like, I didn't even know like the first thing. Oh, I knew a few things about concert photography, but I was like, I was seeing one of my favorite bands. I don't know if you remember Ria the In Crowd.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah,
Yes, I've seen them a couple times. They were great.
yeah, they were my favorite. It was their tour. I think this one they were touring with like Newfound Glory or something.
Oh
And
my god, I wanted to go to that tour. Didn't
yeah,
get
I
to.
was like 16 or 17, and like I just got like my new camera. I just got like my first DSLR. I was like, oh my god, I want to use it. So like I had like VIP to the show too, and I somehow like it was a pretty. It's a DSLR, so like I don't know how I hid that, but I hid it like under my arm, and like they didn't say anything. They didn't like check it. I'm like, oh
And you got past security
yeah,
with that?
and
How?
like I don't know. And then like I had barricade too, and like I was
Oh
just
my
taking
god.
photos on my camera while like the other photographer was like right in front of me in the photo pit. I was
Oh
like,
my
I was
god. You
bold,
literally cheated the system.
but they didn't see it after a while, so I was like, oh no.
Ooh, yeah. I feel like you gotta be really sneaky about that. I
Yeah,
think with my GoPro, that was years ago. So I'm like, oh, whatever. I would never do that again.
that was like one of my wildest moments. I never did that again though.
Oh, yeah.
I was so
Never.
scared. Someone's gonna see me. Oh god. But now I'm like, yeah, I gotta get a photo pass for that. Don't do that again.
Oh, no.
Um,
Never.
yeah, no, that's not a good idea. Cause you could like you could
Mm-mm.
get in like bad with like the security there too. I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, yeah. I think I was sneaky one time with a concert. Like this was like a year ago, I think. And it was for this one smaller artist. And my sister and I had photo passes and we had interviewed him too before the concert. And then because he was just playing at House of Blues, and
Hmm.
apparently there's no video allowed
God.
to when you're in the photo pit. And I was like, fuck, because I really wanted to do video. And so you know what I did? I pretended I was taking photos, but I was actually recording. So
You could get away with that though. Like
oh
it's
yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah. I
like
did I would only do it for like 30 seconds and then stop
mhm,
recording, actually take photos, then go back to recording. And yeah. So I just made sure I was like careful with that because like obviously don't want to get
oh my
bad
god.
with the House of Blues staff because they were really great. They're a really
Yeah.
great security team over there.
Mhm.
They're super chill guys, and so I'm just like, I don't want to
Security
be
does not get
bad.
enough credit.
Oh, I know. They're like, oh my
Or like
god,
the
like
bodyguards
okay.
up front, like with the people who like get like the crowd surfers. They need
Oh
more credit.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm like, I hope you guys get paid really well
Right?
because your jobs are so underappreciated, I feel like. But there's definitely, of course, there's gonna be assholes who are like
Yeah, yeah, you know. They're
the
like,
rude
where's
security
your photo
guys. But most
pass?
of the
Like,
time, yeah. Yeah. And but most of the time they're really good guys.
yeah,
Like, oh
but
man, like there's a venue up in Sacramento called Ace of Spades, and they have like the best security team. They're
mhm,
so nice and they're so funny.
there's a lot of good ones here.
And oh yeah, I'm sure.
But I think my biggest fear too sometimes, which it did happen to me once, um, is when like you when you get confirmed for a show, like I email all the publicists and all that, and you get confirmed for a show, and like, oh yeah, you're on the list, you're all set, and you go there, and like they're like, you're on the list. I'm like, what? Like I'm on the list. What do you
Yes,
mean?
yes,
I
that's
got an
definitely
email about
happened.
that. That's happened to me
Yep.
once or twice. I'm like, oh my god, please.
Yeah, that happened to my sister for I think it was who was it for? I don't even remember who the artist was. It doesn't matter. But it's definitely happened before a couple times where she's not on the list, but then she shows them the email and they make sure it's like not a screenshot and like whatever.
Mhm.
And she's like, yeah, you can contact this person like if you want. And so then they do, and then they're like, oh yeah, yes, okay. So usually it gets fixed, but like most of the time, sometimes it's like scary because you're just sitting there
Yeah,
and you're like, I'm expecting to go to this concert.
and I can't because I'm not on the list.
Exactly. But then you're like, oh no, it's okay. It gets figured out, hopefully.
Yeah.
So
Usually just like a mix up sometimes, but like it's only happened like once, twice.
right.
I always double check. I'm like, am I on it? Are you sure?
Oh yeah. And sometimes like with the managers, sometimes with the artists, it's so difficult because like they're chill, but then they're like there's definitely those managers who
Yeah.
have been with an artist for a while, so it's like you've dealt with them before and you're like,
Mhm.
oh no, this is the one who didn't put me on the list. And so you're like, okay, like I'm just making sure that I'm on the list to like
Double
don't
checking.
don't forget me.
No, but I'm like I have like a cool like what's the word? I guess friendship. I don't know with a few publicists that I like write because like and I'm not shooting shows like they're all like sending me like PR stuff to like write about because I like write like reviews and stuff on a website. So like I'm friends with like a few of them. Have a good like, you know, friendship with them, I guess you call it.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. That's wild though. I just
Yeah.
miss concerts.
Girl,
I miss
same. Oh
having to
my
worry
god.
if I was on the list.
I'm just like, ugh, my sister and I, we were supposed to see the 1975 on
Oh
our
my god.
birthday this year, and we were like when March happened because it was in May, and we were like, oh my
I
god, is
wanted to
it
see
gonna
that show
get
so bad
canceled?
because Phoebe Bridges was on that and I love her.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
god.
yeah.
They
I
weren't
was
even
just like,
coming to my estate and I was gonna go to New
oh, they
York for that
weren't.
show. No, they
Oh my
weren't.
god. Dude, oh my god. Yeah, I've seen the 1975 a couple times, but they're just so fantastic. And like I was just like so ready for our birthday because we had really good seats too,
Mhm.
and we were like so excited. And then the pandemic happened, and and then I was like,
Then that's it.
"Fuck!" Like that,
Bye.
we literally didn't do anything for our birthday. I think we had just ended up doing like a Zoom call and played Jackbox or something.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Um, yeah, so it's like it's just so sad because it's like there were so many
No.
concerts that were supposed to happen this year. Like that really big one with like I think wasn't it like Green Day, Fall Out Boy,
Yeah, I was gonna go to that
and
too.
yeah, who's the? It was like another, or
Green
was it
Day,
just
Fall Out
them
Boy,
two?
and Weezer.
Weezer.
Yeah.
Yep, yep. That was like a big concert. And then was it? And then My Chemical Romance was supposed to be
Yeah, they
doing.
came back and then now
Yeah, God. And then I'm like thinking about it for last year. I'm like, well, thank God the Jonas Brothers made their comeback
right?
last year. Like, they would have been fucked if it was this year.
I think too, because like you don't know, because like all these shows are like planned with like like openers. Like oh my god, this band's touring with this band. Like I want to see both them together. But like, what if like when they can come back, like they're not going to be able to have the same show? Like it's gonna be a different opener, like a different
Yeah.
like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's what's happening for 8123 Fest because it was supposed to be this year and then or no, not that not even that. Sad Summer Fest was what it
Yeah.
was.
Mhm.
And that one was like it was the main and then All Time Low and then I think who was it? Frick. Who was it? Oh my
State
god.
champs.
State Champs. Oh,
Mhm.
love them.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
And then yes. Who was the other big artist? I'm like
Really, all of them.
blanking. Like it was just, but like I
Mayday
know that was
Parade
like
was
a.
it?
It was like oh, it was probably Mayday Parade. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, they're at
But
everything.
they like had a huge lineup for Sad Summerfest, and then they're hoping. I think it looks like though that they are all confirmed to come back for next year. So I'm like
No,
okay, hopefully, but we'll see because who knows, man. They're just like I like there's so many of my friends like I've made so many friends at concerts that are still
oh
like good
same.
friends of mine for the past decade and like it's just like crazy to think like I met these people at a concert like
It's wild how you meet
naturally.
people. Like,
Hmm?
it's wild how you meet people.
Yeah, it's so cool like like especially when it's in real life stuff, like
Yeah.
with friends too. It's like, oh my god, like I would not even be friends with these people if it weren't for this artist because we were all at that same concert.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's just like I don't know what I would do without those people now, because it's like we've been friends for so long, and it's just like wow, like wow.
Not the Owen Wilson.
I know, yeah.
God.
Let's see, yeah.
How do we even get here?
I don't know, man. I am really good at tangents.
No, me too, though. That's why every episode is 2 hours. Like, I don't mean to make them that long, but like, it's just good. Like, we're talking this much, but like, people that listen, I have to think about them. Like, do they want to listen to us talking for 2 hours?
It's like, I hope you understand
I hope
what's
we're
going
interesting
on.
enough. I hope I'm interesting enough.
Yeah. Did you have any other questions or?
Honestly, let's see. Because I usually, so it's funny, I do. It depends, like the guests I have too. Like I'll have guests. Like I had like a graphic designer in the last one. Mainly, I think all my episodes have been artists.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
I've had like a Twitch streamer, which I count as an artist. That's art. Twitch streaming is art to me.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Well, it involves video games, so
yeah,
yeah. Let's
and
yeah.
I've had artists. I've had a band on here. I've had musicians. I've had other photographers. Yeah, I've had all artists on here pretty much.
That's
Which has been
awesome. Do you
awesome. But yeah,
plan
I
to
usually
do
like
you
it depends like the type of artist I have on here. So like if it's like a band, I'll like ask them all music questions, like what was your favorite like song on whatever album of your childhood? I don't know.
Yep.
But yeah, like I feel like we went through a lot. Like I feel like I don't even like have usually I don't even have questions half the time. I'll usually just have like the photo question I asked, or like for musicians I'll have like, yo, like what's your favorite like album of all time or something, you know? Like I keep it like tailored to like the people I'm talking to. I think we talked about so
Right.
much already.
I know. We talked about concerts, we talked about oh
We've like
god,
covered
there's
every
just so much.
single like corner of everything.
Yeah, there's a lot. And I'm easily distracted, so like once we're on a topic and then it could easily just turn into another topic. And
Oh yeah, no, I'm the
that's just
same
how it
way.
is. Yeah.
But it's oh my god, it's been so much fun. Like I just love like talking about random, well, not random things, but like well going off in tangents, but like just getting to talk to someone new.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's nice to meet people through this kind of thing. And again, with social media and Twitch, it's like crazy to meet new people in completely different parts of the country, and other countries too. So it's like crazy to think about.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's been wild. That's why I keep saying it's been wild for everything, but like it's really been wild. Like it's been a wild year, and meeting people is wild.
Oh my god, yeah. It's like there's just so many different personalities, and it's like also like it's another thing. Like I think I saw a post about this or something, and it's just like, isn't it weird to think about like you're going out like before it was like the pandemic, so you're walking around or whatever, and you're like, let's say you're in a coffee shop, right, and you're ordering from the barista or whatever, and then there's all these other people in the coffee shop, and you're just like, you're the main character in your story, but then all of these people are the background extras for your
Oh my
story.
god.
But all of these people have their own stories that they're telling, and you're the background extra for their story. But it's
Yeah.
crazy to also think about how like we cross paths with so many different people that we will literally never see again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's insane. Like humans, this is a whole other topic too. With like,
another episode.
It's just like things that I think about all the time,
All
and
the
I think that's
time
just
at
my
night,
anxiety.
like 3 in the morning.
Yes. Like I'm just like sitting in my thoughts like all the time, and I'm like, what
Like
is
people
going
are
on?
real.
And yeah, everything's real. Like horses are real.
Like I what am I doing? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's just like I don't know. That's a whole other thing to talk
I
about.
need to
But
stop before we go on to like
me
another
too.
like
I
dimension
know. Oh my
right now.
god. Yeah, it's probably late there too. Anyway, right?
Okay, listen, it's 10:30, but that's not late for me. I'm up most of the night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, this was so much fun. So glad you wanted to
Yeah.
be on here.
Oh my god. No, thank you so much for having me. Oh my
You were a
god. This
blast.
was
I laughed through this
yeah.
entire episode.
Oh,
They're
yay.
like similar in so many ways.
Yeah.
Music,
Oh
music
yeah.
wise. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think it's helpful to meet people who are in the same community as you, and
Oh yeah.
so it's like you obviously already have something to talk about, so that's easy, and then you just go on and on about different topics, and you're just like getting to know each other. And but thank you for having me. This was so fun. I really missed doing podcasts. So this is really making me want to get back into it for the new year. So
Oh yeah.
thanks for that.
Oh hell, you're welcome.
Yes.
Happy to inspire.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh my god. All right. I gotta end this. So before we get into another, I don't know what I was gonna say. Anyway, this was fun. Thanks all y'all for tuning in, or you're tuning in later. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. It was fun. We're out of here. Have a good one, y'all.